video I'm going to show you how to create my pineapple stitch beret. Now it's in a series of 3 videos. I've got as well a beanie hat in this stitch and also gloves to match. So the written instructions to these video guides can be purchased from my website thecastingoncouch.com, and please note as well you can now like me on Facebook. I've got a new Facebook account which I'm very excited about, so if someone out there wants to like me, I'd be very happy about that. So let's get on with the beret tutorial. For this project I'm using Rowan Angora Haze. For similar results, look for a matching ball band tension and needle size. And note that on this project we're deliberately going down to a 3mm crochet hook. Rows 1 to 6 are exactly the same as the beanie, so click on the link and follow the beanie instructions up until row 6. Do not go beyond row 6 of the beanie instructions. Join me back here again where we will continue on from row 7 onwards. We'll begin our round with 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. Put your marker into position to mark the first 3 chains, and then we will do a bobble into the first 3 chain space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that bubble's now completed. We can do 3 chains and go into the next 5 chain space with a single crochet, and we want 3 chains again, and into the next 3 chain space we want another single bobble. So that's our second single bobble, 3 chains, into the next 5 chain space, single crochet, 3 chains. Now into the third space now we're going to be creating 2 bobbles, just like we have done in previous rounds. Slip stitch, 3 chains, go into that same space with a single crochet, create your second bobble. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've completed our bobble, 3 chains, go into the next 5 chain space, and we're going to finish the repeat section by chaining 3 and doing a single bobble. End the repeat with 3 chains and single crochet into the 5 chain space. So repeat that another 2 times. So a single, single, a double and a single. And join me at the end of the round. At the end of the row I've completed my last bobble, 3 chains, and go into the marked space with a single crochet, and that's round 7 completed, and you will have 15 bobbles. Now round 8, this repeat needs to be repeated 15 times. Begin by chaining 5 and always mark our first 5 chains. After you've completed the chain 5, single crochet into the next 3 chain space, 3 chains, single crochet into the next 3 chain space, and repeat that sequence throughout. End the row with 3 chains and do a single crochet into the marker, and that will be round 8 complete. So I've completed one sequence here of row 9. I've got 2 single bobbles followed by the increase where I've got 2 worked into one space followed by another 2 single bobbles. So you need to repeat this set twice more. I'm completing the last bobble of round 9. After completing this round, you'll have a total of 18 bobbles completed, and we finish with 3 chains, and we go into the marked 3 chain space with a single crochet. So that's round 9 completed. Round 10, carry on in the main pattern, so that's 5 chains, single crochet into the next space, 3 chains, single crochet into the next space, and complete the entire round. I've begun to work round 11 of the beret, and into the next 2 3 chain spaces I've worked single bobbles, and then I've done an increase. After that I've done 3 single bobbles, and then you repeat that sequence from here to here for a total of 3 times, and once that's been done you should have 21 bobbles, and then we can move on to the main pattern section. The next 2 rounds form the main repeat. So round 1, begin with 5 chains, reposition your marker and mark the first 5 chains. Now single crochet into the next 3 chain space, chain 3, and single crochet into the next 3 chain space, and repeat that sequence throughout. So I'm showing you the last repeat of round 1. So chain 5 and single crochet into the next 3 chain space. Do your final 3 chains and single crochet into the 3 chain space containing the marker, and that completes round 1. Now for round 2 of the main pattern, begin with 3 chains and reposition your marker so that we know where to finish, and we're now going to create a bobble into the first 3 chain space and end the first repeat by chaining 3 and single crocheting into the next 5 chain space. So carry on that repeat all the way around, and then we'll show you what happens at the very end. So this is how the repeat ends. I've got 1 bobble to create, look, in the last 3 chain space. So 3 chains, create your bobble into the 3 chain space, secure with a slip stitch, and then the final 3 chains, they will single crochet into the marked space. Ideally, from the crown, you want your beret to be a approximately 18 centimetres, that's 7¼ inches. That's just approximately. And then what we'll do is we'll create a little band of knit one, purl one rib using a 3mm circular needle. I'll show you that in a minute, but you want a band of about 3 centimetres. That's, what's that, nearly 1¼ not quite, 1⅛. So join me later and I'll show you how to pick up stitches for the band. So when picking up stitches, rather than forming crochet stitches, I'm simply just inserting my hook into the chains of the crochet pattern and pulling it through without then working it. I'm just then slipping as evenly as I can into the next spot, pulling through, going into this next chain here, pulling through, and note that you're entering the reverse of the chain if you like, really, because this is my preferred side for this particular beret. And then when you've got enough stitches, you can then just simply transfer them as you go to your circular needle, like so. So you want to make sure that you're collecting the stitches as evenly as possible. So with those stitches that you picked up, you can form a band of knit one, purl one with your circular needles. And here you see me on the final round of my rib. Create a band of about 3 centimetres long. And to denote each starting point, it's always good to use a marker. Now, I'm quite fond of a hair grip just to denote the starting stitch. And to create the band, all you do is a knit one, purl one rib, and then cast off after about 3 centimetres worth of rib. When you have 3 centimetres worth of your band, you can then cast off. I'm going to cast off in rib pattern because it just gives a bit more elasticity. If your knitting is tight when casting off, just go up half a needle size for the casting off.